Welcome to EIAS Ecophone International Acoustic Seminar. My name is Maj-Britt Beldam. I'm working for Ecophone, and with me I have Associate Professor from the Technical University of Denmark, Mr. Cheol. Welcome to EIAS.
Thank you for inviting me.
Mr. Jeong has just been on stage and he has had a very, very interesting paper on absorption coefficients and some trouble related to that. Can you please let us know just a little bit about your topic today?
Yes. I think the sound absorption coefficient is a wonderful parameter to gauge how much an observer is absorbing sound, like 20% or 80%, 75%. It's a really nice way, but actually we have to be a little careful using those absorption coefficients in practical situations and also simulations. So I was talking about general problems of the sound absorption coefficient and also practical absorption coefficient, and measure the value according to the EIAS2023 procedures and so forth. So I like talking about input data and characterization of sound absorbers.
Yes, you actually mentioned two issues. The inappropriate use of data as a number one, and then the uncertain measured data connected to this ISO standard.
Yes.
Can you just elaborate just a little bit on the issues related to the standard EIAS2023?
So inappropriateness of the use of sound absorption data is actually ascribed to the user. If the user is actually using normal instance absorption coefficient in a 3D sound, or 3D room, then it doesn't really make sense. And the same way, if we are using the random instance absorption coefficient in a very anisotropic room, where the sound field in the horizontal direction is much more dominant than the vertical direction, it doesn't make sense. So we have to be careful when we are using the absorption coefficient in calculations and the simulations. That's one thing I mentioned. And also we are using many assumptions in the calculation of the absorption data. We use infinitely large panel, we use plane wave instance condition and so forth, which is not really like that in reality. So we have to be cautious about how to use those data. The second issue is the measurement of the sound absorption coefficient. We use the reverberation chambers to measure the sound absorption coefficient according to the EIAS2023, and this method has a lot of drawbacks. It's actually all well known in the community, and it hasn't, those problems have not been solved for almost 40 years or something like that. We are trying to solve it, but it's not an easy task right now.
So we have some issues that we have to deal with.
Yes.
And we have to investigate further how we can work with this.
Yes.
Yeah, so do we have a quick fix? What can we do instead?
No, there is no quick fix. There are many different opinions. Some people say we still use the sound absorption coefficient as is. I believe we have to transform this sound absorption coefficient into more scientifically correct input data, like surface impedance, reflection coefficients, and those kind of data. And Ecophone has been wonderful to provide the flow resistivity data. Whenever I need any product flow resistivity to Erling or Maj-Britt, they are immediately providing those kind of information that really help my research and the entire community in acoustics.
So what you're asking for is transparency from the manufacturers.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some secrets to hide, but Ecophone has been really open for the acoustic community. They make a lot of effort to make it a better sounding world. Yeah, I really like that kind of attitude.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for joining us here at EIAS. It means a lot to us.
My pleasure, and so nice to be here.
Thank you.
With you.